Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Chapter 5 for this code IHS 304 Halal Regulatory and Governance. We will discuss about monitoring and enforcement, especially in halal issues in Malaysia. Question: why is enforcement and monitoring very important in the debate regarding halal compliance in Malaysia? The answer is it is to ensure the process, procedure, and regulation related to halal are in line with legal principles and law. For our information, monitoring and enforcement on halal actually started during Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions. Example of issues relating to halal and haram based on Al-Quran is prohibition of alcohol. In Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 219 mention, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يسألونك عن الخمر والميسر قل فيهما إثم كبير ومنافع للناس وإثمهما أكبر من نفعهما. They ask you, O Muhammad, about wine and gambling. Say, in both is great sin and some benefit for people, but the sin in both is greater than the benefit. The meaning from that verse is there is a great sin in wine drinking, and one of the things that Allah forbid is sins. From the beginnings of the times, they just use al-amru bil ma'ruf wa nahyu anil munkar as a term, as a source to perform the inspection and enforcement. Okay, when we talk about the enforcement and monitoring on halal in Malaysia, we have KPDN, Kementerian Perdagangan Dalam Negeri dan Kos Sara Hidup, or Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living, JAKIM, and so on, with their scope and procedures for enforcement. KPDN also collaborate with JAKIM and JAIN and other agencies in halal sector during the monitoring and enforcement activities depend on the situation. For example, during the inspection to the slaughterhouse, the enforcement bodies from KPDN will collaborate with JAKIM and DVS, Jabatan Perkhidmatan Veterina, Department of Veterinary Services, and PBT or local authorities to make sure the monitoring and enforcement more effective. Among the issues occurring in Malaysia related to enforcement and monitoring are fake halal certificates, use of non-halal or doubtful ingredients, mixing halal and non-halal products, non-compliance with halal supply chain standards, and so on. An offense will be subject to legal action depending on the type of offense committed by the party involved. As a conclusion, this shows that enforcement and monitoring is very important in ensuring that halal issues from the perspective of food, cosmetic, pharmaceutical, and so on are complied with from the perspective of Islamic law and the implementation of laws in Malaysia. Okay, thank you very much.